Hi everyone, I'm Norm, and I was watching some of those true stories of openness, and they really are amazing. Am I allowed to say that? Um, I thought it would be fun to add to the party, although I could not think of any particularly remarkable story to tell. But a few of my online friends kind of encouraged me to add something, so here I am. I'm not any stranger to tech stuff. I've worked on network computers since the 70s. I've used email since the 80s. I made my first web page in the early 90s. Anyone remember a browser called Mosaic by any chance? Anyway, the thing is, up until recently, though, I've really just regarded the internet as a place to go to look things up. A few years ago, though, I was teaching some tech classes at a local business school, and I'm not a teacher full time. This was kind of moonlighting. I had my own kids at college age at the time, and there were expenses, and so I got this teaching job. The school was a little regimented where I worked, but I was lucky enough to have a department head who encouraged me not to just teach tech, but to use tech in my classes. And so we started experimenting with some stuff using internet resources and playing around. Some things worked good, some didn't. We didn't have like LMS systems or anything like that, so we just kind of made things up, made up web pages on Google sites, and experimented with different kind of online forums and flipped some classes, that kind of thing. I remember one class I had the students. We took the classroom off of the school network and reconfigured all the computers in the classroom onto a private network, and then set up a shared file system in order to simulate like a chat room kind of thing. And we had a lot of fun with that, and so the students started using it that the rest of that class as an unmonitored, uncensored chat room, and they really took off with that. It was actually a lot of fun, and I thought it was one of my more successful classes. Um, Problem is, I discovered after the class was over that I didn't have the network permissions that I needed to restore the computers back onto the school network. So I had to leave a note for the admin, letting him know that I broke his classroom. And later on, I got the obligatory scolding from my department head, followed up by a recognition award. Apparently, some students had talked up what a great class we'd had, and the admin, he was one of the good guys, so he just kind of got in the habit of scheduling reflashes on the PCs in my classroom after my sessions. So that was a lot of fun. But I think it was their open-mindedness that helped open my eyes to some possibilities that I hadn't thought about before. So I had fun with that job, but I had to leave that job after about 5 years. But I remained interested in learning about online teaching and online learning and stuff. So I went to the internet to look it up. That's where I discovered the program for online teaching out of Miracosta College, which had a certificate class run by Lisa Lane and her team. And I got into that class, and that's where I really started to learn about things like blogging and tweeting and pedagogies online, and it was a really wonderful course. And as a result of that course, I started to hear about other classes on the open web, such as the social media and online learning class that Alex Kuros had going at the time, and the digital storytelling class, DS 106. So I began to follow along with those as well, both for the content that they offered, and as well as they were like models for online teaching. So I was able to and continued to watch the how the class is delivered, and it's kind of a good example, I think. So that's been a lot of fun for me as well. Uh, I've gotten into doing some blogging and tweeting. All that stuff is kind of new for me. All this is going on. I have been building up a small group of online friends, especially in the DS106 community, where they have lots of different ways you can participate and contribute. Everyone appreciates, the experiments, even the ones that backfire, and nobody gets scolded. So, um, but it's taken me about 4 sessions to do everything that the real students do every semester. But that's okay because they say it's for life. Um, there's a lot not to like about the internet. Just look at some YouTube comments, or read about identity theft and all the confusion about copyrights and stuff. It's certainly enough to scare you off. But well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure we've been talking about it in ETMOOC, for example. But I've also discovered that if you find the right community, the right open community, that there's a lot of really interesting, smart, helpful, supportive people, and you can learn to be all that too. And that's the real amazing story. And so that's my story. Any questions?